To the point of, we're going to ask you about some common mistakes that you see dentists make, and I think you touched on one of them right there, and that's really a function of not being educated or having that information. Um, any other high level concerns or mistakes that you see
Yeah.
doctors performing that might help them to hear now?
Yep. So we talked about a few of them already. I'll just reiterate. Number one is getting the design wrong, not really focusing on the design, not going to a world-class dental design team to do your design. I'll brag for a minute here, and I would say that Benco has the best designers in the business. I know sometimes we don't charge for it, so it makes it look like it's kind of free. So therefore, or it's included, and therefore it's not very good. We make a point of having the best designers in the business work for Benco. So number one would be getting the design wrong or not sweating the design, not going to a world-class designer. Having an architect do your design who doesn't do dental offices and doesn't understand flow and efficiency and all the things. Number two is undersizing the practice versus where you want to go. Number three, which is related to number two, but we talked about it for a few minutes, is not really understanding the practice strategy before you do the new office. The office has to reflect the practice or the business strategy. There's lots of ways to practice dentistry. You can be the cheapest dentist in town. You can be a Medicaid focused practice. You can be a family oriented practice. You can be an implant oriented practice. I'm not here to judge which strategy is the best one. I've been enough offices to say that I've seen every one of those strategies play out successfully. The trick is to align the strategy with the facility and the marketing and the team so that everything works authentically and congruently. If you're a dentist and you've got a strategy and you're aligned on what it is and you build the rest of your business around the strategy, any strategy can be successful. But if you want to be the high-end dentist in town and you're working in a facility that's 20 years old with old chairs in the waiting room and the reception area that are curved because there's so many tushies have been in them, that's not going to work. So aligning the practice strategy and identifying the practice strategy with the facility is one of the things you got to do. And that's a big mistake I see a lot of dentists make. And then the last one, which I'll share is, and this one may not make you guys happy, so I'll own that, is I think one of the biggest mistakes dentists make is the second office, right? So what do I mean when I say that? We have a lot of dentists who go out there and they either get sized out of their current office or they get a deal that they can't refuse and they end up going to a second office. I'm a huge fan of a second office if you're on your way to your fifth office. But if you're just going to do a second office, in my opinion, it's the biggest mistake dentists make. It adds to your expenses. You can't be in both places at the same time, and yet you don't have enough size to make the efficiency work. What works is 4, 5, 6 locations. I'm a big fan of that practice model owned by one dentist or a group of dentists and finding the efficiencies of the back office and a call center and all the things you're going to do.